It's finally time to start working on these trucks. First one up is the K5. Just getting ready to take the wheel off, get the axle out so I can pull the drum and everything off this 14 bolt and see what we got going on. They got a axle seal leaking or a wheel cylinder, but I'm guessing it's the axle seal because I had the boy come out and you can hear the brakes working and everything. Nothing's leaking, so we're going to have a couple different issues because I'm losing brake pressure, but I can't find a leak anywhere, and I definitely got gear oil going down the inside of the tire. So I'll get this off, and then we'll see what we got from there. Here we go. We got the drum off, and the spring, kind of like how you can see on this side, how you got the keeper right there. It's like a nail that sticks through, and then it's, grabs holds the shoe in place. This one is gone. The spring's right there, and the piece, it looks like a nail. It's hard to tell. It's history. I don't see it in there anywhere. So definitely a spring kit. Doesn't look like the wheel cylinder's been leaking. Something's definitely been leaking. You can see it down in here where my finger's at. So everything's pretty coated, so it looks like the seal has definitely been seeping. So we have to get a spring kit. You can see where the shoe, where it's smoothed over on the side. You can see where it's been rubbing, where it's been kicked out. You can see it in here on the drum running around. So the good thing is the drum's still good and thick. The shoes aren't too bad. This side, the edge is kind of scraped down a little bit, but no big deal. Truck's just used for off-road use, so like it's getting driven to work every day. You can see where it's had. It's from the previous owner, but you can see all the stuff where it's been out and about. So I have to get all that cleaned up, get some brake clean, get all that cleaned up, round up a brake spring kit, and go from there. Get it all cleaned up. You can tell she's been setting a little bit, but all this has to be cleaned up. Now the drum, when the drum's on, now the setup I have, this is how mine looks. You just tape this snap ring right here, comes off, and your nut right here should have some tension on it, either one way or the other. And with mine, you gotta take this off, which comes off real easy. Just a flathead screwdriver gets it out, and it just has a flat spot here, and it just like loops around and comes back up to this side. And once you get it out of the way, mine actually had a little tension on it. It was like off to the side to set the pressure on the wheel bearings, and I just tapped it back to loosen it up. The pin slid straight out, and then just unswiveled it. And I was worried about, because a lot of these times you guys know what I'm talking about, when you get these big trucks with these brake drums, that they can be a bear to get off. But thankfully, this one slid straight off. So I have to get online, do some digging around. We'll find the spring kit for it, and then we'll get that installed. Get the wheel cylinder installed, and we want to check at the breather tube there coming off the axle housing of the 14. Check it and make sure it's not plugged up. And I get the spring kit, and we'll pick it back up. All right, here's how I go about getting them out. You take get this on a tripod. I just use a hammer. Always seems to work well for me. Of course, I didn't have a exact flat surface. I set it up on the tire. You set your drum, your heavy drum, up on there, and this hammer is made out of a heavy plastic. Well, the handle is anyway. It's made out of a heavy plastic. You set it down through slide it down through the outer wheel bearing to where it sets against the inner wheel bearing, and you tap it. You just go around giving it some love taps, and it'll pop out. The problem is, you always get real lucky. In my case, it popped out, fell down in between the wheel, landed in the dirt. Perfect shot. But in reality, though, this bearing is hosed, it's going to need replaced. It's it doesn't even want to spin, so it's shot. The race, see if I can get you in there. The race on the inside is shot, so I have to tap it out. Come get in there where you can see it. If you can see, it might be too dark. Sun's going down. That and the dog's slinging stuff there. Quack! Slinging dirt everywhere. You can see the marks all through here. It's where the bearings have set. And it's really rough. You run your fingers across it, you can feel ridges all through it. It's all gritty. You know, the outer wheel bearing looks, it's good and clean and shiny. No nothing. You know, a piece of little something I knocked down in there, but it's like silicone. But the inner bearing is definitely hit. So it's definitely going to have to get some brake clean all this up, replace that inner race. Like someone's messed with it before. That's wheel bearing grease. But so far, inner bearing, race, and a spring kit. And when I get time, I'll check that hose. So, oh, and the sill. The sill was rock freaking hard, so there's no real cushion to it at all. So the sill is definitely shot. And looks like somebody's probably replaced it before, because it's covered in grease. You know, like they lubed it up to tap it into place. But man, crazy. But so I'll have to get the hardware parts, and then we'll do a reassemble on it. And hopefully, what's today? Today is Tuesday, so I went ahead and took Thursday and Friday off, because I got less than a month to try to get this thing mobile. So I took Thursday and Friday off, and then we'll do a reassembly and see what we get. So we'll try to check this hose real quick before we shut her down for the day. It's starting to get dark, so try to get in here. Plan is unhook the hose and blow up through it. Make sure there's no plug. If it's plugged up, we'll have to rerun the line, which doesn't matter. I don't mind doing that, but it'd be one less thing on the list that we have to worry about. These guys like to know where this off-road park was. I didn't think to ask him, but they showed me a video of it in this truck, and they had it in some seriously deep stuff. It was up over the door handles. Well, you guys seen that one video I showed you when I sprayed out the radiator. All the mud and goop and stuff they was in, it was up on top of the engine block. Me myself personally, that's a little extreme for me. Now I'd love to go full one, but that's just a little too extreme for me. Boy, she's on there. Come on. Alright. We find some pliers. I'm hoping it's not going to take anything major to get this thing mobile. I think so far the most expensive part I'm looking at, well, not that much stuff I've done already, but as far as getting it to where I can make it there on time, I think the most expensive part is probably going to be a battery. Unless I can round up a used one somewhere. The one I got is just not holding any juice. Come on. Well, she's not wanting to come off. There we go. Yeah, she's kicked. Alright, well, we'll try it this way. No, maybe not. Damn, I don't think I've ever had one fight like that. There we go, she's coming. I'll tell you, if them drums would have been shot, I probably almost would have been borrow, begging, and stealing to get money for this brake swap. If you dig around online, man, you can find them cheap. Nope, she ain't plugged up. No, so we're good there. So this must be a 40 seal. So that's a plus. I don't want to hold you up and putting that back on. So let's make this video so you guys can see what in the hell we're going to be dealing with here. So that puts us down to inner bearing, inner race, spring kit, and an axle seal. So far, that's just this side. I'll have to get take the other side off and check it too. So there's a good chance that it might be in the same condition. I'll have to get something to probably get a Scotch pad and clean that up a little bit. Brake clean, spray it all down. So I'll toss this out there just so you guys can see what we're fighting with, and you guys got any comments on something else I should be looking at as far as the brake pressure is concerned, definitely let me know, because I don't, it's maybe that had, I'm sure that had part of something to do with it. So it's possible the passenger side could be the same way or worse. So we'll at least get this side together, because I don't have on that side of the truck, I don't have anything that's stable enough to put a jack stand on. I got the one thick board that I can use for, so I got to do one side at a time. So if you guys can think of something else to check, minus the obvious of brake fluid leaks, master cylinder, brake booster, that kind of stuff. But I think this is going to be a lot of it. Just going to let it flop around. But I'll get the parts, man, and then we'll fire the camera back up and we'll do a reassemble and see what we end up with. Remember, if you guys can think of something, don't hesitate to let me know in the comments.